Now, Storm Watch 12 weather with meteorologist Sarah Kress.
Right now, taking a live look out across the region, seeing some very rainy views into Medford and Talent. We got some rain covering our cameras, but taking a look over into Mount Shasta, seeing a very wintry mix, seeing a lot of that snow this morning that we saw in Klamath Falls making its way off the road. So road conditions are improving today as we're seeing those snow levels rise a bit, but we're still tracking some pretty heavy precipitation. Looking out at radar, taking a closer look as we head into these areas where we're seeing the yellow and red. That's some pretty heavy rainfall, especially as we're heading towards Fort Jones. Etna just had some of that rain pass its way through. That'll be a big trend that we're seeing today into Northern California. But as we're moving up a little bit as well, heading over towards Ashland and heading towards Hilt is seeing some of that heavier precipitation as we're moving throughout the day. We'll talk in just a second about what that trend's going to look like. But right now, current temperatures 42 into Klamath Falls, 46 over into Medford, down to Montague 44, and along the coast 52 into Brookings. Today we'll expect breezy conditions for most of the region and a little bit windy conditions as we're heading over towards the coast. Those will pick up as we head later into the day, but temperature wise, it is still feeling a little bit chilly outside as we just saw, but we'll be warming up ever so slightly, only into the lower 50s as we head over into Medford, into the mid 40s as we're heading over east of the Cascades. And throughout the day, like I said, we'll be seeing some heavy to moderate rainfall amounts, especially as we're heading down into Northern California throughout the day. This afternoon, a lot of the heavier precipitation again is going to be focused as we head into Siskiyou County. At times, though, still seeing moderate to heavy amounts of rainfalls. We're heading into Jackson, Josephine, and Curry counties, but a lot of that rainfall will pick up as we're heading into those overnight hours. Take a look at all of this yellow that we're seeing, even some areas of red. So we can expect some pretty intense rainfall into those overnight hours. Even as we're waking up tomorrow morning, expect to see some very wet conditions again as you're heading out the door. And that'll continue as we're making our way through our Friday. But all we can also expect with this next system moving in are those wind gusts picking up. Today we'll be dealing with some breezy conditions as we're moving over east of the Cascades, especially into those higher elevations. But as this system pushes in tomorrow, it's another area of low pressure that is intensifying, not as intense as that last bomb cyclone, but because it is deepening, we're going to see some windy conditions starting along the coast, and then it'll get intensified as we move our way east of the Cascades, even seeing some of those breezes pick up as we head into the Rogue Valley into tomorrow. So we do have a few alerts we'd like to bring your attention to. A high wind advisory or a high wind warning has been issued over western Curry County and then over east of the Cascades into Klamath and Lake counties into the Shasta Valley. And that's as we head through the night and into tomorrow. And we also do have a wind advisory issued. That is for areas into the Rogue Valley and over east of the Cascades into Klamath and Lake counties through 4 p.m. Friday. This is lasting a little bit longer than we are seeing that high wind warning lasting. But today, our rain totals that we've seen throughout the day. This is general precipitation as we make our way down towards Mount Shasta, but that is quite a bit, and we'll continue to see that as we're continuing through the day. But we're going to expect quite a bit more rainfall even as we're heading through Saturday. This system's wrapping around along with a lot of that atmospheric river moisture, so we can expect some pretty decent amounts even as we are heading over towards Brookings. And coming up in a bit and on our next forecast, we'll talk more about this system and what it looks like. But let's go ahead and take a look at our 7-day forecast. Very windy conditions as we're heading over to the coast, heading into tonight, but showers are going to be likely even as we head into the weekend. Same deal into Northern California. Definitely expect more rain as we're heading into our Friday rather than snow. Same deal over into the Klamath Basin, only seeing those snow in those higher elevations. But as we head back into Saturday, snow levels are going to drop back to past level yet again. Same deal over for the mountains, a high of 35 as we're heading into Saturday, and finally back over into the Rogue Valley. We'll see some windy conditions as we're heading later into the evening into the Rogue Valley, and then as we continue into our Friday, expect that as you're heading out the door tomorrow morning.